lot of people think that children are so young, they won't realize this person's gone or they won't understand it, so we're going to protect them from it by not talking about it. And, you know, they're so young they won't remember that person. You know, it really isn't that way. Kids do understand grief. They have different stages and understandings of it, but they definitely know when there is a loss in the family, when someone they've been close to, you know, a family friend who's been around a bunch, they know when that person is gone. Children know, you know, it's just like when children know, they may not know a parent's depressed, but they know that something is up. So they know when a loss or a significant event happens in the life of their family, in the life of a parent. And so what happens when you don't talk to children about death is that they become anxious. They begin to exhibit behaviors that maybe don't look normal for them. It can hurt their trust if they know something's going on and no one's talking about it. Then they begin to feel insecure and unsafe because they don't know what's going on and they don't know if the adults in their lives are telling them the truth. It's best to bring it up, to talk to children about what happens when it happens, using, again, age-appropriate understanding, which means that, you know, you want to tell honest, simple explanations. You want to be as honest as you can be, and you want the explanations to be truthful, yet not scary. And so this is the part where, you know, getting help, getting coaching, talking to a counselor can help. Just like adults have grief counseling, there are grief counselors who work with children, and they can help parents have the words and the understanding of what their child will know and understand at that age so that they can properly explain it. And it's important to, you know, use things that aren't like saying, so-and-so went to heaven. Well, that's very vague. That's a very vague, scary, ambiguous thing for a child. So you would say things like, for example, grandma was very old and got very sick, and when someone is very sick, their body stops working. And you just kind of start with that explanation. This is called preemptive grief. The idea that this death is coming, you know it's going to happen, and you want to start talking about if it's an illness, if it's an injury that is leading to this. There are ways that you can be honest with a child without being too scary and without speaking in words they will never understand. But the more that you can help a child know what's going on in their life, the more that you can decrease their anxiety and the behaviors you may see. It also goes to improve or, you know, build long-term relationships where they can trust adults and know what's going on in their world. As a therapist that works with children, I believe that it is important for parents to be involved in any therapy, regardless of what it is for, because the therapist spends perhaps an hour with the child and the parent is with the child all of the time, you know, all the rest of the time. So it's important that parents get skills, get coaching, get the ideas that they need to help their child through an event, through a grief experience, through whatever it is that goes on. So one of the things that can benefit a parent is through talking to the therapist, through being in some sessions with the child, they get to learn, you know, how their child's understanding death and what words to use, because you want to be consistent. You want to make sure that I'm saying the same thing that the parent is saying. That helps the child develop their understanding and have a healthy experience of death, which for most adults is a scary thing because we don't all have these healthy experiences of death throughout our lives. Grief counseling for children, counseling after a death that has occurred in a child's life, can help with some really key factors that lead to healthy experiences of death. You know, it can help a child accept the reality of what has happened and be able to explain it, be able to talk about it in words they understand and can communicate. It can help the child experience the feelings that they are having about this loss and its effects on the family, because often, even if a child's not as much affected by the loss because they're more removed from the person, they can be very affected by what's going on in the home. You know, if a parent has lost a parent, then that parent can become very sad and tearful, and it's important that the parent knows that they can say to the child, I am sad, and it's okay. I can still take care of you. It's okay for me to be sad, but this is why I'm sad. You know, these are all steps that help a child have a positive experience of feelings, even the hard ones, and of what it means to lose someone and keep going. The last piece that it can be really important with is in helping a child put the pieces back together and move on. You know, that you have to adjust to life without that person that was once a big part of your life or even a peripheral part of your life. You have to learn how to make adjustments.